Hi, and welcome to the video series on NumPy. This is Geometry Box, and we are here to guide you. Please subscribe for more updates on TensorFlow, Keras, Matplotlib, Pandas, and other most widely used machine learning packages. So, without much delay, let us start NumPy. First, I'll tell you what we are going to cover in this video. So, we'll discuss about what is NumPy and its open source nature, and whether it is fast or not, and how it will consume less memory. We'll discuss. After that, we'll discuss about its ecosystem. Next is Python list versus NumPy array. We'll discuss. Installation process also we'll cover, and after that, we'll create the NumPy arrays using multiple methods. And also, I'll tell you what is the difference between all these methods, when we will use, and when we should not use this method. I will explain. So let me show you how practically I'll show you here. So whatever we discuss in theory, I'm going to show you by coding in the Python. So let me go back and start from the beginning for detailed discussion. So what is NumPy? So NumPy's full form is numerical Python. Believe me, most of the developers and who is using NumPy package, they even don't know this is the full form is numerical Python. Because we call it as numerical Python because it is extensively used in numerical computations. That's why it is NumPy, shortened form of numerical Python. So next is whether NumPy is free to use or not. Yes, absolutely, it is free to use. It is a open source. You can use it for any commercial applications, or you can do some research, whatever you want. You are free to use. And to manipulate homogeneous data in arrays, please note this point: homogeneous data. Homogeneous data means all the values should be same data type. Next is NumPy is very much faster than the Python list, and it consumes less memory, and it is very convenient to use. And convenient to use means whatever the functions, mostly we are going to use this NumPy to manipulate some matrix operations. So what are the matrix operations present, like multiplication, division, inverse, addition? So all those things we can simply use. That is main here, convenient to use. Let's discuss about ecosystem. Ecosystem here is where the NumPy is extensively used, in which domains it has been used. So in scientific domains, which includes quantum computing and statistical analysis. Statistical analysis includes your time series forecasting, so speech signal processing applications and image processing applications. It is also used in array libraries that includes TensorFlow, PyTorch, Dask. These are all the libraries which are extensively used in machine learning data science fields. Wherever they want to do some numerical computations on arrays, they will use NumPy. Next thing is data science, machine learning, and visualization. As I said previously, all these tools are going to use extensively in this field. These are the ecosystem. Next is Python list versus Python array. Python list and NumPy array both will serve for the same purpose. That means it is an creation for arrays and manipulation on some arrays data. So the basic difference is Python list can contain multiple data types in single array. That means it can have strings, it can have integers, and it can have float values, etc. But whereas NumPy array, all the elements, as I said previously, it's homogeneous. It will store only homogeneous data. That means all the values should be strings, or all the values should be integers. For example, if I define NumPy array with a, that means string 1 5.0, it will cast all the other values to strings. In NumPy strings it will typecast. That means 1 is also, you can see, it is inside the strings, 5.0 also inside the strings. This is called typecasting. And this is the major difference between this major difference will help will give a edge to numpy arrays, because the mathematical operations that are meant to be performed on arrays would be extremely efficient if the data is same data type, if the data present in the arrays is same data type. So it has a flexibility to give the data types. That means float 8, float 30, float 16, float 32, int 8, int 16. Like that, we can have an option to manually fix the data type so that uniformly it will consume the less memory. But it is not the case in Python list. The maximum allocatable size it will take, that will increase the memory size. Yes, we have done with theory part. So please remember that we have discussed 4 points. One is NumPy full form is numerical Python and it's open source in nature, and it's homogeneous in nature. Next thing, it's about its ecosystem, and then why we prefer NumPy arrays over Python lists, because of its speed and less memory consumption. Because the reason is homogeneous data types. Let's jump to NumPy installation. NumPy installation we can do multiple ways. One is pip is the one method you can install, and second thing is if you are using Conda environment, you can use Conda install NumPy. So let me go and show you how I can install in my local system. Let me change the screen. So here you can see. Let me clear it. I have already installed NumPy in my environment. Install NumPy. Add version. It is giving 1.19.1. This is the second method. So let me go back to the slides. And here, till now we have discussed 5 points. One is what about NumPy and its homogeneous property, and Python list versus NumPy arrays, and then ecosystem and installation process. Till now, if you got any doubt, and please comment. I'll try to. If you face any installation error, also please comment. I'll try to respond for all the comments. We'll go to the next item. That means creating the basic arrays. So once we have done with installation and importing, next thing is we will use NumPy in our projects. As a part of that one, first we have to create the np object, np-nd array, n dimensional array object we have to create. To create that arrays in Python using NumPy, we have several methods. First one is np array, and np zeros, np ones, np empty, empty, arrange, and np line space. These are all the methods you can use. We'll go one by one. Let me go back to the Visual Studio Code. So we have imported NumPy successfully, and then after that we have tested the version also. np version will give you the version which is installed in our local system. After that we are going to use np.array. np.array is the basic, and everyone should know how to create the array. This is the basic one. For example, I have to create an array with the ages of 5 persons, and I can keep all those values in one single array. That means all values are in one single array. That means Python lists, and then I'm calling np.array. Inside that I am sending this object. That means it will create np n dimensional array object. Please remember that all the arrays in Python, by using NumPy, they created as n dimensional object, ndr object. I will show you types. Here you can see that it is giving NumPy nd array. So n dimensional array. All the arrays you create using NumPy is n dimensional array. Okay, you have created one array. How to access those values? You can simply index by using ages of 0, ages of 1, ages of 2, ages of 3, and ages of 4. Similar way you can access it from backside. Ages of -1, ages of -2, -3, -4, -5. This is the accessing from backwards. So let me, this is we created an NumPy nd array by using int data types. So let me check the types of 0. You can see NumPy int 64. So all the data types will be numpy dot int 64, numpy dot int 8, numpy dot float 32, numpy dot strings, like that it will be. So let me create the weights of 4 persons, 3 persons. Let me create. So weights equal to np dot array, and inside that I am feeding one array which 30, 32.5, 53.9. This is a very useful example. Please note that this is an integer, these two are float values. But let me print the weights. If I print the weights, it is giving 30.0. You can see, right? 30.0, 32.5, 53.9. Because as I said previously, all the values in numpy array should be same data type, so that integer is typecasted to float. So let me create one other array a called, so set that a 1 and 5.0. Let me give, and let zeros 5. So I'm passing 5 as an argument value to the np dot zeros. Let us check what it's giving. So it generated 5 zeros. So this is the first element, the second element, third, fourth, fifth element. np dot zeros generate the 5 elements. Let me create another zeros with data type. See, defaultly it is taking float values. Please remember that np dot zeros will take default data type as float values, and np dot zeros 5, and I extensively given data type equal to int. That means it is given only zeros. It didn't given any 0 point something. And as I said previously, we can create the matrix also by using np dot zeros. You can see two rows and one element. Let me create two rows, three columns. Let me create two rows, five columns. You can see, right? Let me change the three rows. Simply this is the shape. This we call is shape. First element is number of rows, second element is number of columns. Please remember that. This shape, reshape, axis and all we will cover in next module. So let me go back to the slides. We have covered first two methods. Next one is np dot once. There is a close similarity between np zeros and np ones. You can see, right? After starting coding, I have used np. That is why we are giving nickname to numpy, that is np. It is very easy to use. So let me generate 5 1 elements, 5 ones. Let me generate. You can see it generated 5 ones. So all the values are floats, but I want integers. Then data type equal to int. Just you give int. And if you want to create matrix, and then I can give p2 comma 1. So there is a close similarity between zeros and ones. So let me go back to the slides. Next one is np dot empty. So empty is always helpful in, especially in machine learning. It's like a placeholders. If you don't know what values you want to put, or later you want to use, np dot empty is best. Let me show you that by going to the studio. For example, I want to create np dot 2 by 2 matrix. So you can ask for difference. Let me give you 2 dot 12. You can see it is arbitrary values. It is not fixed values. Every time you generate, it will generate some arbitrary values. Because you can ask, even though we have np ones and zeros, if you don't know what to fill, you can fill these values. But when you want to debug the application, if you give np.empty, and it will throw you some random values, that means definitely you can identify somewhere the mistake is happening. And another thing is, if you mention empty in your code, then the developer who is also working on your project, they will easily come to know that, okay, this is a placeholder, this is not yet have any values. But if you give in np zeros, that means intentionally you given. But it's always, if you don't know what to use, and you can use np.empty. And also it is small little bit speeder than faster than the np zeros and ones, because it is randomly assigns values. That's it. Let me go back to the slides, and we'll see what is the next function. np.arrange. Please note that this is a very important. This is very important. NP dot arrange is very important. NP dot arrange is very important. Let me go through this. So NP dot arrange. For example, if you want to generate a NP dot arrange, will take three parameters. One is start, and another is stop, and another is step. Data type also it will take. It's an, if you want you can give integers or whatever, a float, string. Here string, I'm not sure whether it will work or not, need to check, but most of the time we'll deal with only integers and float values. So let me check this one. NP dot arrange, NP dot arrange 3. That means it started with 0 and it given 3 values, and in stop. So 3 is equal to stop value, and default increment will be, step will be 1. For example, let me, I want to generate five numbers, 0 1 2 3 4. Or else if you want to create first five numbers starting with 1, you can give 1 2 3 4. You it's always, please note that first value is inclusive and second value is exclusive. That means it will start with 1, and then it will include, it will exclude the last number. So if I want to step 2, that means the difference between 1 and 3 is 2, and 3 and 5 is 2. What is the difference between the values? It is used, you can use it for even numbers and odd numbers. In one command you can generate. For example, if you want to generate even